I'm Guy Fieri, and this is my son, Hunter. You probably recognize him from growing up on Triple D.
All right, Chef, so I hear you're the fish and chip guy.
And Guy's Big Bite. My sous chef, Hunter, still in it. Well, he's graduating from high school, heading off to UNLV to study hospitality. So to get ready, I'm taking him on an epic food adventure. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, mesdames and messieurs, damen and herren, 7 countries across Europe, exploring the traditions and passions that make up the world of food. For me, this is like coming to culinary Disneyland. Right now, we're in Parma, Italy, and we're going to do something I have dreamed about doing, and that's make Parmigiano Reggiano. It's outrageous. Plus, there's this crazy process behind the prosciutto. He says, don't cut your finger. Then we're off to Switzerland for a little fondue pit stop.
August mitenander.
Thank you very much. So, let the culinary adventure begin. Hunter and I have had a fantastic trip through Italy so far, done so many cool things, but now we're in Parma. And I'm going to introduce him to some folks that Lori and I met a few years ago. And man, I will tell you what, these people make the most outrageous prosciutto I've ever tried. So here's the deal. 3 years ago, I'm driving from Florence to Milan, and I start on a detour. And somebody brought me here. Who was the person?
It was Carbognani.
So I meet him at a gas station.
Yes.
He drives me here and drops me off, and there's a tour bus of people leaving, and they're closed. I mean, completely closed. It was, 5 o'clock. And they take me on a tour, and we ate prosciutto, and we walked through every different step of how they make the prosciutto. So I told them 3 years ago, I said what? One day?
I will come back.
I will come back. So here we are. All right, so can we go? We're going to show.
Sure.
I want to show them everything. That's perfect. Look at that. You look great.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you, Rappella.
Fantastic. Yeah. That's good.
Okay, that's heavy. Pay attention. Not the other side.
Not the other way? This?
Yes, like this. Leave it. Perfect.
Okay, so what's this doing when it goes through here?
Okay, it presses the hands with a data curing. So when we start the working process,
So it burns it right on there, brands it right onto the meat.
then my uncle is waiting for him for curing the hands.
Okay, I got this. Go down and help her.
Salare, andiamo a salare.
Hunter has no idea what's going on, but the first thing he has to do, he has to salt the ham steamer.
Okay, so you see, this is the femur.
Yeah.
You have to put sea salt in this area.
Okay.
You have to press the femoral vein and cover the rest of the ham, just the surface using sea salt.
Okay.
Ready.
No?
No, così.
Push it in there?
Yes.
Okay. There you go.
Bene, andiamo.
How long have you guys been in the business of doing this?
25 years ago in 1990.
Okay, so what's the next step after this?
The hams remain with the sea salt for 20 days.
Okay.
And as you can see, the most important characteristic of this rim is the color of the meat. The meat becomes darker. This means that the meat is absorbing sea salt, and so we are preserving the hams.
Thank you.
So what's the next step?
Qual è il prossimo passaggio?
20 giorni togliamo il sale e comincia l'asciugamento qua.
We remove the sea salt, and we start the drying of the ham.
How long will it be in this cooler?
Ad
5
aria, ad
days,
aria.
2 degrees.
And then we bring it here to trim it?
Yes.
And what specifically, is he taking off just the dry area?
Here goes the meat around the femur and the hip.
You gonna let him try?
Pericoloso.
It says, it can try, but pay attention to the knife.
Okay.
Allora.
Good luck. Okay. A lot of sawing, Hunter. Grab it firm.
Ok.
Get up on the knife, Hunter. Hold on to the knife. There you go.
I'm trying to cut the ham, and you're talking in my ear.
Coaching.
That's what you're doing. Get your hand on the knife, and then...
You had to get in there, and I just didn't want you to cut. I was just trying to help.
Okay.
Dito.
He says, don't cut your finger.
Okay, so now that they're kind of trimmed up and cleaned, what's next?
So then they go back in another room where they continue the drying for 3 more months.
After the 3 months, the ham is cured.
Now we start to
Now the aging, now the development of the flavor.
Yes.
And how long will it age?
2 years from the beginning of the working process.
So in June 2017, I'm coming to get these two. I'm going to put a special note on there. Now we're going to go where they age.
Yes.
Okay.
Allora, Anton, apri la porta.
Okay, these hams are more than 1 year old. Before putting the stem parmas, we must check the hams using the famous instrument. So the tibia.
The tibia.
The tibia of the horse, just from back legs, not the front one. That's a hard bone, but at the same time porous. The most important thing during the checking is his nose.
Controllare.
Now it shows you the 5 points that he has to check.
Prima nel gambo in questa zona.
So this is the top of the leg,
Vena femorale, eccola qua.
femoral vein,
Vena centrale,
central
eccola qua.
vein,
Sotto l'anca
under the hip,
e sotto il femore qua.
under the femur.
Queste sono le 5 zone e questo è il numero 1 al mondo.
This ham is number 1 over the world.
What does it smell like?
Obviously, if one of these 5 places is not good, maybe a vein is not well dried or so on, the smell is bad.
Ok.
Try that poking, yeah?
Sì.
So like right here?
Il dito, allora forare.
Like this?
Yes,
Forare.
2 centimeters. You remove, you smell, and you close the hole you made.
Okay.
How's it smell?
It smells like prosciutto. It's just kind of sweet.
It's beautiful.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. We're gonna go eat some?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Okay.
Ecco qua, mister, arriviamo col prosciutto di Parma, 24 mesi, 2 anni, eccolo qua.
24 months,
È il
2
numero
years.
1.
So,
Buono?
it's like neat cotton candy. It just melts.
When I poked it, I mean, it had that smell, and it kind of like tastes like that smell. It's just really
It's sweet. It's rich. It's salty.
fresh.
Mi viene appetito anche a me.
Looking at you eating Parma ham, he also wants to have some Parma ham.
Have a seat. Come on.
I said,
I have to tell you, what a pleasure.
it's
And this was the example of what I wanted my son to see. People that love food, people that work hard to make great food, and the experience is way beyond just eating it. It's all the energy that you feel. I knew 3 years ago when I met you guys,
Yeah?
I was going to bring him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Huh? Good stuff. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Do you want some of my prosciutto?
Se vuoi un po' del suo prosciutto.
Dr. Hunter, report to cheese. Oh, unbelievable. This is it, man. So now Hunter and I are cruising around Parma, Italy. And we're going to do something that, I gotta be honest, is something I've wanted to do ever since I became a chef. And Hunter gets to do it right off at 19? What is wrong with this? In my world of food, there are very few things that I really just get that blown away by anymore. But I gotta tell you something, being in Parma and watching and participating in Parmigiano Reggiano, that is the #1 in Parmesan cheese. All my life, I've loved it. All my life, I've talked about it. And finally, we're gonna see it.
Awesome.
Parmigiano Reggiano. I almost named you that.
Nice.
Simone, what's up? Nice to see you, brother. It's my son, Hunter.
Hunter, nice to meet you.
to meet you. This is a trip about bringing Hunter to all the great food cities of Europe, but this is actually my issue. We ready? Yeah. Let's go. Come on. Are you? You're in this. This is outrageous. I don't even know what to say. Give me a second. I'll be all right.
Yeah. Take your time.
How many wheels of Parmesan do you make?
Something like 25, 26, depending on the day. Each bag gives you only 2 cheeses, and we use 1.2 tons of milk to make
1.2 tons of milk to make 2, do we call it a wheel?
wheel.
Wheel, okay.
And the wheel belongs from the same place. They're called twins.
They're called twins.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the process starts to warm up. It's stirred.
Yeah, we add a little part of the hay. The starter.
The culture, that's all. Okay, perfect. Do you see the question basis that I'm coming up with? I mean, I'm getting right down to the source.
I've never seen you so excited about it.
Hard-hitting news I'm bringing everybody right now. All right, we ready to go?
Yeah, sure.
All right, Hunter, you got to get dressed up.
This is a Giorgio Armani model. Huh?
I only see one coat with my dad's.
There you go. Dr. Hunter. Dr. Hunter, report to cheese. It starts to coagulate. Now what happens?
Yeah, so the cheese master is waiting for the right level of coagulation. Put your hand in.
That's awesome, Hunter.
All the small granules drop
To the very bottom. So what's happening right now is in this gigantic copper pot where they make the cheese, the curd and the whey have separated. And what they use is this gigantic paddle, and he grabs that cheese off the bottom, brings it up, floats it up a little bit, and as it's floating up, they get that cheesecloth right underneath it.
The other side.
Pull, up tight.
Good. You look like a pro.
and then hang it and let it drain a little bit, and they'll cut that in half, and that's what makes the two twins of cheese. So let me get this straight. You can only get Parmigiano Reggiano from the area of Parma.
Yes, that's correct.
So if you go out of Parma, it doesn't matter if everything else is the same, it can't be Parmigiano Reggiano.
That's correct.
That's pretty crazy.
That's got to be heavy. Set it into the form. It's still warm, so it's still pliable. This will seize it up. So now he wraps the baby to go to bed.
So we are so happy to have you all here. That today we're gonna make a special thing. We would like to sign them. Put your signature on. So we're waiting for you in 2 years. So we can, yeah?
Seriously, to be here when it was made, to take it, to sign it, to store it, and then come back in 2 years and get it?
It's awesome.
Oh, unbelievable.
I've never seen my dad so happy in his life making Parmesan.
It's like one of those things. You want to see your kid go up on stage and perform. You want to see him hit the buzzer beater. You want to see him catch the winning touchdown. And in my world of food, bringing Hunter there and making the Parmigiano Reggiano, it's one of those things I'll never forget. This is it, man. Oh, my gosh. This is how you come shopping in Parma. You don't even understand how cool that looks. So we're in Parma, Italy. We've made Parmigiano Reggiano.
It's really cool to just go in there and see what it starts out as, and then as the process goes on, it's this big ball of cheese.
And then going from there, going down to the salt bath. That's where the cheese absorbs the salt for the flavor and for the preservation. 50 wheels of cheese. You're putting salt in the water.
We want it to lose moisture, you know?
Right.
As long as the salt enters into the cheese releases moisture.
So the salt goes in, the water comes out. Okay, so how long will they stay in here?
20 up to 22 days, dry them up, clean them, and then we will undergo the aging period.
Can we go to the aging house?
Yes, why not?
Oh my gosh. Whoa. I don't even know what to say. I had heard the history of Parmigiano Reggiano being made for years, back in the day when I was working at Italian restaurants in Los Angeles. And we had some really amazing chefs that walked us through it. So when we walked into that warehouse, curing room, cheese fortress, when we walked in there and saw that, I didn't know what to say. It was like a little kid walking into a toy store for the first time.
There's a whole other room, Dad.
This is how you come shopping in Parma. Going to cheese heaven. So 17,000 wheels?
Yes.
How long are the wheels aging?
Minimum by law, 1 year.
1 year, 12 months.
But usually it's from 24 up to 36 months when you reach the perfect balance between aroma, taste, structure. When it's 1 year old, we check every single wheel up with the special hammer in order to check whether we have a uniform sound. Vibration from my wrist and, of course, the sound from my ear. So I do something like... This is uniform. If I put my hand just like this, I'm creating a fake hole, so to speak. So
you're listening for a different sound, which would represent that there's a air pocket inside of the cheese, which of course wouldn't make it the perfect wheel of cheese. You go first.
I need your opinion. He has a potential as a cheesemaker. Yeah.
So this one's good.
Yes, it is good. And now we also would like to show you how it's traditionally cut. So first thing, we use such little knives because we want the cheese to break itself. We usually don't say that we cut it, we say that we open it or break it. Yeah.
So a little bit at a time, Hunter, it's kind of getting some air, it's going to relax.
We take our time when we make it, and we also take our time when we cut it. Yeah.
You can see it move just a little bit.
There it goes.
There he goes. That first moment, there's just something about the smell. Oh, it's awesome to think of all that time and energy put into making that wheel of cheese. And you're right there when it's open for the first time. Pretty amazing. First bite. How is it?
It's awesome.
You get your little granules, like little crunchies in there.
No, that's super good.
It's so rich. Thank you very much. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Simone, you're the best, man. I gotta tell
Thank
you.
you so much.
So from here, we're headed north to Switzerland. But before we leave, we gotta swing by Milan because something amazing is happening. The World Expo happens every 5 years in a different country. And this year, it's in Milan. So what would be the theme? Exactly. Food. Oh, what an event. Plus, since we're in Milan, which is the fashion capital of Italy, there's something I gotta get Hunter. All right, when you come to Milan, there's one thing you gotta do for sure, and that is shop. And you need a suit going to college. This is the joint. Oh, it's gonna be painful. I think it's pretty dope.
Okay, yeah.
Try to. That's how it works. You don't even understand how cool that looks. That's the best you've ever looked. I send that to your mother. Wow. Wow. Hunter, there's two things you got to do when you come to Switzerland. You got to buy a watch, and you got to have some fondue. So after 10 fantastic days in Italy, we're on our way to Munich, which means we're going to pass through Switzerland, driving through the Alps, which Hunter slept through 95% of them. And it's,
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, that's pretty much
You're
right.
exaggerating.
You missed 95%.
I would say like 70, 65 maybe.
How would you know you were asleep?
Because I remember seeing the same mountains everywhere. It's just all look the same.
Wow. Hunter, there's two things you got to do when you come to Switzerland. You got to buy a watch, and you got to have some fondue. I'm not buying you any watch, but I will get you some fondue.
All right, awesome. I love fondue. Are you sure on the watch?
I don't even know what city we're in. We pulled off to get some gas. We asked the person, hey, you got good fondue around? They said, yeah, around the corner. We are here. Better be hungry.
I'm very hungry.
I'm very hungry. The cool thing is you're driving along on the way to Munich, drop off in this little town in Switzerland, say, where do you find good fondue? Someone points you to a place and you pull up and here it is by an auto shop in a neighborhood. You understand there's different types of fondue?
Yeah.
You can have fondue where you cook it in oil.
Okay.
You can have fondue where it goes into cheese. You can have fondue where it's chocolate fondue, like you like. So I don't know what they're going to serve.
Take one of these,
Okay?
and maybe fruit
Okay.
or bread,
Okay?
and
And dip it.
dip it. Yes.
Okay? Fantastic.
And gott miteinander.
Thank you very much. I have no idea what that is.
too.
Oh, what you're getting in there is that Swiss, a little bite of the cherry kirsch. It's like a cherry brandy.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, it's so good. But tell me how cool this is. Little outdoor joint. You're not going to find this every day. The bread's really good on it, though, huh? Nice chewy bread.
The food's kind of nice there. So you have the tangy hot cheese and then like the sweet peach. So it's kind of cold on the inside and hot on the outside, and
So you get the temperature contrast, and then you also get
the flavor.
the acid and the sweet contrast.
Yeah. And Mom would love this.
So would Ryder. Ryder would be into it.
If you don't, Ryder would be double dipping.
He'd be playing. He would be double
And
dipping.
I would be leaving.
And asking where the chips are. Really good, man.
Now I bring you one part more chocolate fondue.
Fucking strawberries.
This is good, huh? Mm-hmm. We're stopping?
Of course.
All right, bub. Last couple bites, and then we gotta bail. We gotta get to Munich.
All right.
Big day tomorrow. Big day.
I'm worried.
You should be.
Oh, wax on, wax on.
With fingers, like that.
Did you just say wax on, wax off with the pig? Help me. I'm going to leave him here.